Smolderon is the final boss of the Fire Wing in Amirdrassil, the Dream's Hope. This boss fight swaps between an ability management phase and a burn phase. In the first phase, you're going to be avoiding the different effects that he puts out while trying to get every raid member to have a stack of his specific debuff. In the second phase, everybody with that stack is going to release a couple of orbs, and if they collect those orbs, they're going to get a major DPS buff and be able to burn this boss down. Definitely save Lust for the first of these phases, you're going to get massive damage on them. Also save all 3-minute cooldowns. Every time he enters his intermission phase, as well as every orb that he collects, massively increases his damage. So this is a major DPS race. You need to take him down in 1 or 2 intermissions or you're going to have a bad time. Alright, so let's break this boss down. In phase 1, there are 2 main effects. There is the tank swap soak mechanic, which means a big soak effect appears on the current tank, and everybody that gets hit by that effect gains brand, which will increase the damage taken from that effect by 500% from future hits. They will also gain Cauterizing Wound. This will be a heal block that once it's removed will explode for 370,000 damage to everybody nearby. So everybody that gets hit by this smash then needs to spread out and then receive healing to remove the heal block and then explode. Now the tank gets Searing Aftermath. With after a short delay, the tank will explode for reduced damage the further they are away from everyone. So after taking the smash, the tanks have to swap, and the current tank needs to have run out of the group so that they explode and don't deal damage to the whole group. Now what makes this a little bit complicated is Overheat. The boss is going to mark half the raid, and he doesn't seem to care what half he marks, except it's always going to be one of the 2 tanks. This is going to put a red circle on you, and after delay, you're going to erupt, damaging everybody nearby, and send out fire tornadoes that deal major damage and knock back allies. You cannot control who gets overheated. It could be the tank, it could be any amount of the group. It's always going to be half the group, and it's always going to contain one of the tanks. What we found is that the entire group should be stacked on top of the tank. Whenever the overheated goes out, all of the overheated members get out of the group, and the non-overheated tank taunts the boss. At this point will be the soak mechanic almost right away. You have to be very quick on this interaction. Once the soak mechanic hits, all of the players that got hit by it need to wait for a delay until all of the fire tornado eruptions happen, and then the groups need to trade places. The group that got hit needs to spread out, and the group that were spread out need to stack up in front of the boss, and that second group is going to get hit by the slam, while the first group, now spread out, is going to get hit by the fire tornadoes. There's a little bit of control over the fire tornadoes. Whichever way your character is facing, one of the tornadoes is going to shoot out that way, and the other 2 are going to be angled triangular style backwards away from you. So you can control a little bit where these tornadoes are going to go if you're smart about your facing. There's a lot of damage going on in this phase, and a lot of avoidable damage that you just have to be smart about, as well as quick on your swaps. Throughout this phase, his Blistering Heat is also going to be doing constant damage to raid members. He will also periodically summon lava geysers that are going to leave a puddle on the ground after an eruption of damage. This puddle is going to stay for the rest of the fight, and so you're constantly running out of space. You need to rotate him around the outside of the room, continually keeping an area of safeness for you to be able to deal with the boss. After 2 rotations of the tank soak mechanic, he's going to begin the intermission phase by running into the center of the room. He'll slam into the ground, sending everybody back a short distance, and then pulling some globules out of everybody that has the brand. These living flames are going to slowly encroach on the boss. If they ever touch him, they give a 1% increased damage buff. If you collect the essence, you take a bit of fire damage and then gain a buff, increasing your damage and healing significantly. This is when you want to lust after everybody's grabbed all their orbs, and hopefully none of them have hit the boss. He's going to begin channeling into himself and make his Blistering Heat effect occur far more often and do far more damage. This is constant healing the raid healers need to handle. He will also begin marking sections of the arena with fiery circles. These circles will erupt after a short period of time and then switch to new sections. You're going to have to dance around the arena, moving in and out of safe zones while you're trying to damage the boss through this burn phase. If you ever get hit by this effect, you're going to get a massive dot on you that burns for a lot of damage. After this phase, he's going to give himself a 10% increased damage buff that stacks throughout the fight. After heating up 4 times, he'll then begin his raid wipe mechanic, just doing massive raid wipe damage that is guaranteed to kill everyone. You have to kill him before he gets 4 transitions. After the transition phase, he's just going to go back to phase 1, and you're going to be dealing with the soak points as well as the fire tornadoes once more. It's just a constant rotation between the soak mechanic and then the intermission, and you need to be able to burn him down rather quickly. I hope this guide helped you figure out how to take down this boss, and if it did, I hope you'll give me a like and a subscribe. I'm Zesty Phresh from Sons of Games, and we'll catch you guys next time.